Hi everyone. If you are looking forward to holidays and the festive season, then stick around, because one thing we don't want you to do is end up with a really sore lower back and end up as an emergency patient somewhere at a chiropractor or an osteopath's practice. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Lisa Smitch, and today I'm going to go through 5 fantastic tips that might just save you from getting that really acute lower back and stop you from enjoying the festivities and possibly even your holiday. Now, these tips all seem quite basic and they're really just common sense, but it is really important to keep them in mind when you are enjoying those festivities and going on holidays. Now, the first one is sitting. So avoid that prolonged sitting. So whether you're at a party, whether you're traveling, you might be in a car or an aeroplane, whatever mode of transport, it is important when you can to get up every half an hour and go for a walk or do some nice gentle stretching. Now, if you are in a car traveling, then do try and factor those break times in before you head off. So prolonged sitting, obviously, if we think about sitting, the pressure from our torso ends up in our lower back, and that can really strain that lower back and really cause that area to flare up. Also making sure when you are sitting that you've got some nice lumbar support to maintain that nice forward curve in your back. Otherwise, that stooped posture can really strain and cause some problems. That was tip number 1. Now, tip number 2 is if you are engaging in some new activities or sports that you haven't done for a while, like Frisbee, those activities when you're away, then keep in mind to do a little bit of a warm-up, because with the whole excitement of a new activity, then people just kind of jump into it without warming up properly, and afterwards, once you've cooled down, that can end up causing you quite a bit of problems. So the other thing too is to make sure you stretch after that event, an activity or sport, so that way your muscles don't tighten up the next day. We don't want to be waking up with that back pain. So that's tip number 2. Now, tip number 3 is what you're wearing on your shoes when you are exercising and having fun out and about. So making sure you've got some really lovely supportive shoes with a nice solid back. Most people take their runners with them, but sometimes we're not putting them on before you head out. So we might be doing activities in sandals or slides or flip-flops, and that really is going to make that ankle unstable and possibly create some issues higher up into that pelvis and affect that lower back. So that is one of the things that we do tend to see. Now, the next one is your pillow. So tip number 4 is make sure you bring your pillow. Now you're thinking, well, what's that got to do with my lower back? So what we find is that if you don't have a good pillow, then you tend to toss and turn more at night. You're not as comfortable, and that tossing and turning and ending up in an awkward position can actually really create some stress in that lower back, and you can end up with lower back pain. So if you're traveling in the car and you've got room, take your pillow, or if you don't have room, then we do have, and you can purchase a travel pillow, and this is called the Harmony pillow, and it actually is a memory pillow that will fit into a little tube like that. Okay, so there are options out there. Now, the last thing is to make sure you keep hydrated, and that's with water. So making sure that you're drinking enough water, especially in the hot weather, as you're out and about, and also as routines change. So I find that when people are on holidays, they're not got the reminders of the office and the breaks to go get water. So make sure you're getting that water in. When you're dehydrated, your muscles are dehydrated, and that can actually cause those muscles to pull a little bit on that back and cause some of that lower, or contribute to some of that lower back pain. So keeping hydrated is great. Also keep in mind when you are partying and enjoying those festivities, if you're drinking alcohol, a really lovely rule of thumb is if you have a glass of wine or whatever beverage, alcoholic, then just have a glass of water afterwards. So that's a really good way of just trying to make sure you're getting your body hydrated and enjoying yourself at the same time. Now, so please, keep in mind there's really simple tips that can make such a difference to you and your enjoyment over these coming few weeks, whether you're partying or, gathering with family and friends or going away on holidays. Hopefully avoid any of those emergency visits to your spinal practitioner. So if you have any questions, just yell out. We're here to answer. even on holidays, you can find us on Instagram. Enjoy the holidays and we'll see you all next year. Bye for now.